What's good, everybody? It's Big Game James. We back in these streets. We back in these work streets. These sad Mavericks streets. But we're here. So, it's been a crazy week. I'm going to talk a little bit about these Dallas Mavs at the end, but I'm going to knock these Cowboys out at the beginning and just kind of get my thoughts on Dallas sports as a whole just through this week and just and beyond. So real quick, I'm not going to say too much because I know there's been a lot of stuff going on. Peyton Hendershot he's with the Chiefs talking about the same thing that Dalton Schultz said, the same thing that Chido Awuzie said, the same thing that Tyron Smith said. It's when they go to other organizations that's focused on football. I made a tweet. People came at me. What, you want him to lie? He asked him a question. What's the difference between Kansas City and Dallas? He just told the truth. I know. I just getting tired of hearing it. I think that's what it is because I already know what it is. I mean, I think we all know the Cowboys is not football first. It's about that money. But, I mean, I just don't want to keep hearing it. I think that's what it is. I'm not saying any of them dudes are lying or whatever, and he answered the question. I'm just like, I ain't just trying to hear that no more. And, I just don't want to hear it no more. We already know. So stop asking that stupid question, in my opinion, from these Dallas Cowboys reporters. Stop asking that stupid question. It's like y'all trying to get something, and you know what they're going to say. You know the answer they're going to give. It's like y'all just want to keep bringing that. We get it. I know. Dallas front office is goofy as hell. I'm just getting tired of asking these players that same goofy question. I'm sorry. Sorry, that was a little rant. And then obviously Emmitt Smith talking about Gianti from Boise State, saying that he don't know if Dallas is ready for that. Are they really going to be committed to the run to bring a guy like that because this dude is nice? And are they really ready? I'm going to just say this. And I'm not even going to be long today, I don't think. But I want to say this about that staff that the Cowboys have put together, or Brian Schottenheimer has put together. I can't lie. I like the staff. From afar, I just been this whole week as they've been gathering all the staff. I just been reading and looking and watching videos and backgrounds and just studying the people. Not really so much the play calling. I did definitely look at that, but I studied the people because the people really make the difference. You can have all the play calls and do whatever you want, but if that coach can't really reach that person, it ain't going to matter what kind of coaching you do to that player. If you can't reach him because of your personality, because that's what matters first. Can you reach them players? Not just what you're coaching them. Can you reach them as a person? Because that's what matters. That's what they care about. And that's just the truth of it. For real. So when I was just going through this staff, number one, the head coach and Brian Schottenheimer, I can't lie. I really like Shotty. I like him a lot. I like him because of the person who he is. I don't know what kind of a coach he'll be, but one thing I know is he's going to be different in Mike McCarthy in this aspect is the communication is going to be a lot better between him and the players. I don't think that was going on with McCarthy, and I think that's one of the biggest breakdowns that was going on was lack of communication. I think there's going to be a lot of communication because I told you, Libra gang, Brian Schottenheimer, Libra gang, I know that brain. He's all about communication. And I just heard Zach Martin talk about the same thing that everybody's been saying about Schottenheimer is that he's a people person. He can relate to anybody. He can talk to anybody. And that goes a long way with us as players. That is huge. That didn't work with McCarthy. And even to the extent of Jason Garrett, I feel like Jason Garrett still didn't have the greatest communication with the players. And I don't think he had the trust of the players. And that's why issues went on. I don't think that's going to be happening just from me. Not saying it's going to be a perfect ride with Schottenheimer, but I think two of his biggest skills is the communication, can meet anybody in any place, and trust. Because if there's trust, then there's going to be the players play better when they're trusted. Okay, when there's a trust factor from coaches to players just play better, in my opinion. And I feel like those are the biggest things that weren't going on with McCarthy and even with Jason Garrett. There wasn't trust, in my opinion, with Garrett, with certain players, and there was lack of communication with Mike McCarthy. And I think Schottenheimer touches both of those, in my opinion. And I don't know what kind of a coach he will be, but when you have those two qualities as a coach, it will take you a long way, in my opinion. And then I feel like if you are that type of coach, you're going to have those type of people on your staff. And as I go down as the offensive coordinator, slash offensive line, he'll be putting in the sets, working with Schottenheimer, that Clayton Adams. Seems like a good dude, and people like him. The players like him. Like, the players say he goes 100%, 100 all the time, and it's in a good way. Great communication back and forth to the players. He really listens as well. I like the sets. The zone blocking scheme, getting guys on the perimeter, cut back, counters, instead of dive left, dive right. I like those philosophies. And he didn't have star players on the offensive line and in the backfield, and still was a dog offensive scheme, still top 10 with those players who were just okay. Now you be coming to Dallas, and I think the talent maybe built a little bit better. So we'll see. But I can't lie and say I'm kind of feeling him, and I think he will bring a lot to the table. They just hired the offensive line coach from K-State. I didn't look at the name. I can't remember the name, but he was Cooper Beebe's offensive line coach. Hearing a lot of great things about him. You've seen what he did to Beebe, and he had some history before that. So looks okay. Running backs coach Derek Foster. I'm not going to go through everybody, but I'm just going to talk about the guys I've seen and kind of jumped out to me. The Derek Foster, when I seen his interview, I ain't have to see no more. I just seen him talk in one interview. I'm like, I like this dude. Just infectious. And I just like him. I can't really explain to you why I like that Derek Foster dude, but it's just something about him. When I heard him talk, I was feeling him. Matt Eberflus, he done brought his damn whole Chicago staff over with him. And I liked Eberflus when he was with Dallas. I want him to be the defensive coordinator instead of Rod Marinell. I want him to take over, but he went to Indianapolis. We saw what it was. Some guys are better specialty coaches instead of the head coach, like as Mike Zimmer. Mike Zimmer was a good head coach, but I think he was a dog defensive coordinator. Matt Eberflus, not so great as a head coach. I really think he could go back to being a really good defensive coordinator when that's all he's got to focus on. And he's been in the building before, So now he can really work his magic without having to look over his shoulder, and we'll see how that goes. I'm a little, but we'll see how it goes with that. And then I like that dude. What's his name? Aaron Whitecotton. I like Aaron Whitecotton too. I listened to him multiple times, watched a lot of his stuff. It looks like he can really relate to the players. It looks like they have an understanding, and he's developed that just defensive line. As I said that before in a past video, I like him. He's young, he's energetic, and it just looks like he's got that. He got that energy, and that's what I like. I like that energy, so I like his energy. And so from afar, I love the staff. Okay? I don't know what the Cowboys are going to do. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what the front office is going to do. I don't even know what Brian Schottenheimer is going to be as a coach. But at the end of the day, I can sit there and say, as far as the staff goes, I'm very intrigued. Am I drinking any Kool Aid on this team and this year? Hell to the no. But for me to sit there and lie to you and say I don't like this staff, that'd be a whole lie, and that ain't fair. I got to keep it real at all times. I like this staff. I just hope that this front office will get up off their ass and be real, because it's been too long. 30 damn years. All I'm going to say is this. 30 years has been too long for us Cowboys fans, content creators, Cowboys fans alike. Enough is enough. You need to elevate. It looks like you said, Jerry, you're taking a step out. You're being more daring than you have been, taking a chance on this guy who never did that. And if you're doing that, then help this man in free agency, mainly in free agency. I think you'll do all right in the draft, but mainly in free agency, and let them cook. Let them cook and back the hell up as much as you can, because it's time, Jerry. It's time. I ain't saying nothing about no Steven because I don't like you. Jerry, it's time. You got a decent enough team. Your team was competitive. I mean, you got talent. Bro, if you really want a Super Bowl, you got to step the hell back and adjust to 2025. Or you ain't never going to win nothing. No more. Period. And we tired of it. I know I am. I'm a Cowboys fan through and through. From the womb. So that's why it hurts me more. That's why I'm going to talk about these Mavs right quick. It hurts me more, and I get more upset, and I get more mad, and I just don't want to talk about Dallas. I just want to, man, leave me alone about Dallas. I don't want to look at stuff. I don't want to watch stuff because I'm so deep in it. I love that Cowboys so much. If it ain't right, I hate the world. You know what I'm saying? I don't hate the world. I hate the sports world. I just don't want to watch no sports when Dallas ain't doing nothing. I just hate it. And I hate when other teams are rising above us when I know we can do the same damn things just like that. And Dallas needs to see that. Do it. It's up to you, front office. Like I said before, it's up to the front office. If the front office backs the hell up and actually adjusts to what's really going on now, you could see change instantly. You've seen it happen to these other teams. Now with these Mavericks, man, I'm going to just say this about these Mavericks. You know, I was shocked. I'm going to be honest with you. My dad was a Cowboys fan, birth. Dallas Mavericks fan. But I didn't really watch them Mavs intently. I wasn't basketball. Football is my first love. Basketball is my second. Football's always been my first love, no matter what. You know what I mean? I love football through and through, played it, coached it. That's what my thing was. I really didn't start getting on the basketball scene until like 8th grade. I would hoop, but I didn't really get on the scene until 8th grade because I had one of my best friends was a dog basketball player. He used to kick my ass every day playing ball. And I used to play football all the time. And I got tired of him kicking my ass all the time. And so I said, you know what? I'm gonna beat you. Long story short, that's what really got me to really get on the basketball game. And my game really went to another level. Got scholarship offers, all that, whatever. But at the end of the day, I guess since I'm not as deep in the Mavericks, I started liking them around 85. Really started putting that work in with them, and like from 85 on, 88 was when I really was loving when they had Tarpley and Rolando Blackman, and when they had a Mark Aguirre and Derek Harper. I loved them when they had Detlef Schrempf. All them guys, that's when I really was loving. I really loved Roy Tarpley. That was my guy. But I wasn't deeply invested in them like I am the Cowboys. I love the Mavs, but not like I love the Cowboys, if you understand what I'm saying. I love my Cowboys. I love the Mavericks. So Luka being gone hurt me, but it didn't hurt me like, let's say, my dog TGK, who has an awesome Dallas Mavericks podcast. Please go check his podcast out. It's ridiculous. Shout out to you, my dog. My dog TGK is going through it, and I can understand because he's a deep Mavericks fan. So I can understand where he's like, man, F all this, F the Mavs, I'm done. I feel him, but I'm not there. It hurt me about Luka. It's the worst trade in the world. You shouldn't have did it to a 25-year-old generational player because that guy always gives you the opportunity to win. And when you have a generational player, you don't do that, especially when he's young, because you always can build around that year in and year out, and he always gives you a chance. They don't have that now because the guys they have now are older and they don't have that potential where you can just build around. They don't have a guy you can just build around because the guys they have are older. AD's a dog, but he's 31. You ain't building around that now. Kyrie's a dog, but he's 32. You're not building around that. And they're not like that Luka spirit, okay? So that's where it hurt the team, in my opinion. And you got damn near nothing in return, what you should have got for him. So I understand that. But for me, I can still watch these Mavs and not be so crushed because I'm not like I am with the Cowboys, if y'all understand what I'm saying. I hate what happened, trust and believe, but I can move on a little bit easier than I can move on with the Cowboys. Okay, so I look at this Mavericks team and say, hey, they still got a chance to do something. Is it like the team before? No, but I definitely am interested. I love that victory against Boston. I love that little Maxi Christie dude. And, I mean, they got a lot of wing players. PJ Washington, I love him. I think AD is going to be a great addition. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens the rest of this year and playoffs. So I can sit there and watch it and not be crushed and say I ain't watching the Mavs ever again because Luka's gone. I just don't have that deepness like I have for the Cowboys. So I can deal with it more in my mind than, let's say, if it was like a Troy Aikman or a Emmitt Smith and one of those guys in their prime and they got rid of it. I would be devastated and I wouldn't know what to do. Whereas with the Mavs, I'm hurt. And I'm not devastated where I can't watch the Mavs no more. You get what I'm saying? So that's where the difference is with me, and I can move on and watch these Mavs and say, let me see what's going to happen. Now, if that was the Cowboys and they did something like that, yeah, I don't know, because that hurts too much with me with the Cowboys. It just does. So that's just kind of my thoughts right quick, how I feel about what's going on in the Dallas sports area. We'll see what's coming up. Once again, I'm not drinking the Kool Aid, but for me to lie and tell you that I ain't worried, I ain't hyped about none of this. Nope. I definitely do like this staff. I like Schottenheimer as a coach. Now it's just up to the front office and to see what Schottenheimer can do with his first head coaching stint. But I like that staff, and I definitely think it's going to make the difference with these players. Now it's up to this front office to set the standard, change their ways, and they could be right on top, just like these other teams that flip it just like that. It's up to them. What y'all gonna do? Big Game James, I'm out. Peace.